answering your questions about retirement. It's Money Talk with Michael Eastham.
About 6 years ago, my financial advisor sold me this real estate investment trust and I invested $30,000. They stopped paying dividends 2 years ago and I get a statement from them every few months, but the value seems to keep dropping. Clearly this was a mistake, but I don't know if I can get anything out of it at this point. Can you offer any advice?
Well, thanks so much for that question about real estate investment trusts, and it sounds like this was a private REIT, if I'm reading your question correctly. And with a private REIT, you do have a lot more restrictions on what you can do in terms of the saleability of your shares. But there are a couple of things that I'd encourage you to look into. Number one, you said it was paying you dividends pretty regularly up until the last few years. You also said that your value continues to look like it's going down, and they've stopped paying that dividend. One thing to think about is that dividend actually income? Because a lot of times these private REITs will do something called a return of capital. And what that is that it is not only income, but part of it could be a return of your principal investment. And so in that way, you may see the principal value of your account going down. That may be part of what you're seeing. Again, I don't know, but just generally based on the way that you asked the question, that could be the case. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not going to get your money out of that position when that REIT either A, goes public, or B, when they liquidate that portfolio at some point in the future. Usually, if you're going to purchase this type of an investment, you don't want to purchase it if you don't expect to hold on to it for 7 to 10 years or so, because you can't typically just ask for your money back and get it all back. If you do get your money out of it prematurely, then you may end up taking a 10% or a 20% haircut on the amount of money that you invested. That's never a good thing, right? You don't want to have to sell low. It's always better to hold on to it. And that's why for a lot of people, these types of private investments are not really such a great idea. What I found is that the people that come into my office that have these either didn't understand them or probably weren't suitable to purchase these investments in the first place. I've seen far too many times where these assets take up a much larger percentage of your overall retirement investments than would be prudent for anyone who is a fiduciary. So you've got to be careful about any of these types of private investments. If you're not quite sure what they are, then make sure you get solid advice from somebody who is on your side, meaning a financial advisor who operates as a professionally obligated fiduciary, and they're looking out for your best interest, not just in the interest of selling another product. If you have specific questions, if I can help you in any way, certainly reach out, and we'll be happy to help you decipher it and figure out what a good solution is going forward. Thanks so much for that question.
If you've got a financial question you'd like to have answered, click on the link below to submit your question. You may hear your answer on an upcoming edition of Money Talk.